this would terrify me if I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. I've been very pro-Jerry, pro-Dak this year. Jerry Jones is not happy with the Cowboys' record. He will consider trades to make the team better. Stephen Jones, Charlotte, step in. Get in front of Jerry. So the Cowboys are actually in a really good spot. 4 first-round picks the next 2 years. Highly entertaining this season, but not good. So one of those picks is going to be a top 10. And next year's draft is loaded with what you need in the first round. Great edge rushers and a few corners. So the teams that should be really, really working on trade deadline deals, Rams, they did yesterday, went and got a corner from the Titans. Colts, New England, could they get another pass rusher? Buffalo, Buffalo's pass defense is pretty good. The offense is fine. Could they use another receiver? Could they use a defensive stopper on the interior? So the trade deadline is for specific teams. It's not for the New York Giants, unless you want to move somebody. New York Giants are not going to be a playoff team. Move somebody. Get a pick. If somebody needs an interior defensive lineman, Dexter Lawrence had better days, maybe that's the guy. So, but somebody has to step in front of Jerry. I've said this. Sometimes when you make a trade and you make a deal, you don't look good for 6 months to a year. That's Dallas moving off Micah. That's the Lakers moving off Shaq. The Lakers knew first year and a half, it's not going to look good. We got to get Kobe a partner. They did. But right now, the Cowboys are the 10th best team in the NFC. So just don't get in your way. It's painful. It's ugly. Couldn't be going better. What you need in the first round, the draft has a lot of corners and edge rushers. You don't need a quarterback. 7 teams do. They'll move up. You can move down and turn 2 first-round picks into additional 3, 4, and 5-round picks. So it's really, you're not going to see it till April. Dallas is in a really good spot, just not today. And here's Jerry, on a potential deal before the trade deadline.
If I saw a proposition for us to help this team, no matter what this score was today, then I would look at it on the merits of helping this team. And I'm not trying to be cute, but that's why you'd go get him, is that you'd think it could help your defense. One player away on defense. I think we're not.
Yeah, they're not. But you could be a first-round edge rusher and a first-round corner, and because you moved off Micah, maybe you can find another interior backer, slot corner too, or a safety. So Cowboys now have the quarterback and flexibility and draft picks. That's a great place to be.
Yeah. It's an interesting place to be. The problem right now with the Dallas Cowboys, and I've talked about this a lot throughout the course of the season, is that you're wasting an unbelievable season from Dak in this offense. And again, I'm not saying that Dak is falling off a cliff, that he's going to be terrible within the next year or two or something like that. That's not my take. Some Cowboys fans took my logic too far to the extreme. But Dak has less great seasons ahead of him than more. That's just the reality of where he's at in his career, with his age. People want to talk about some of these other older quarterbacks. They're like, well, look at Aaron Rodgers, and it's just those comparisons are always kind of absurd. Look at Tom Brady, and it's like you're talking about 2 of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Okay, and they're also fundamentally different quarterbacks with different skill sets, and also 2 of the most brilliant quarterbacks to ever play the game of football. And right now, you're getting peak Dak. You're getting an unbelievable version of Dak, and it's being wasted because you built a bad defense, and that should be really, really frustrating to fans. It should be frustrating to fans when the Cincinnati Bengals did it to Joe Burrow. It should be, because imagine if you actually just had a top 10 defense, a 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th ranked defense, it would be such a game changer. You really would be a legitimate contender here. Now, yeah, you can go out in the draft and get some of these guys over the next couple of years, but my whole thing is that when it's time for them to really make a difference, you're most likely not going to get this peak version of Dak. I just don't think you will. We so rarely see that. We barely are able to see those levels sustained when you're talking about Josh Allen, Lamar, look, Patrick Mahomes over years recently. So like it's just the idea that it's just like, oh, we guarantee that Dak's going to be great and top 3 quarterback over these next 3, 4, 5 years. Why? Says who? Says who? So it's a tough spot. And now you did actively trade Micah Parsons, who's actively helping the Packers be significantly better. Like you, in a lot of ways, you could be the Packers right now. You realize that, right? And rather than trading Micah, you could have went out and got even more support on defense. You realize that? Like you could have even doubled down and said, hey, this offense is going to be great. I trust Schottenheimer. I trust who I hired. I trust Dak is going to be healthy. We went out and stole George Pickens. CeeDee Lamb is there. Like we are cooking offensively. We're gonna retain Micah, and I'm gonna go out and make some moves defensively. I'm gonna boost that defense up, get another 2 players or so, and let's get this party started. Like legitimately go all in. You know, the thing that Jerry has been talking about for years, going all in, making big moves. Those are big moves. And he didn't do that. You didn't do that. And now you run the risk of like, okay, in the draft over these next couple of years, you're going to build up your defense, which is great. But then the offense will kind of average out. The offense won't be as prolific potentially as it is right now. And then you're just like, all right. You kind of now just average back out and kind of continue. You don't really fully necessarily elevate. And you're looking to elevate. That's what you're looking to do. You're looking to elevate. You're looking to take it to the next level. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to compare Kobe and Dak Prescott. I'm sorry. I mean, listen, I think Dak has been awesome this season. I think Dak has been wildly impressive. He's not Kobe Bryant. Okay? Micah Parsons wasn't Shaquille O'Neal. Let's be very clear about that. I mean, if we just look at the oldest quarterbacks, Dak Prescott's now top 6. Geno Smith, not aging so well. Russell Wilson, not aging so well. Matthew Stafford, Dak does not have the arm that Matthew Stafford has. Matthew Stafford has one of the greatest arms in NFL history. He just does. Matthew Stafford, if he got drafted to the Los Angeles Rams rather than Detroit Lions, he would be in the GOAT conversation. Flacco is the best bet. But again, Flacco also, big arm. And right now, he's flushed with pieces. When he was with the Cleveland Browns, he wasn't looking like this right now. And again, kudos to Joe Flacco. And again, not Aaron Rodgers. So Dak's turning 33. He'll be 33 to start next season. And like I said, you're looking at him now being 34, 35 by the time this defense really those draft picks can really be a little bit more mature, experience, et cetera, et cetera. You're talking about being 35. It's a tough one. I mean, you really do see quarterbacks, kind of be in their prime between 26 and 34. And you start to have that decline around 34, 35, 36. Like, you can't expect the best version of that quarterback at that time. It's just a reality. I mean, CD will be around like 28, 29. He starts getting up there in age for wide receivers. Like the offense would just have to also fundamentally change. So that was always my issue with the timeline. I had zero issue with the timeline if Dak is 28 years old. And then it's like, yeah, that makes sense, and I love it. It's a great move. But we see this version of Dak. We see how great, we see how special it's been. and you wasted that year. You're wasting this season. And again, I'm not telling you now to make moves right now. I'm not telling you to now just make all these trades and try to, build some team, mid-season. I'm not making that argument either. But it's just impossible for me to just look at it through the lens of just like, yeah, you know what, this was all good, this is fine. Not when you're having the year. And I think that's what Jerry is saying. He's thinking, oh my goodness, Dak is playing out of his mind right now. This offense is legit. Schottenheimer ended up being a great hire. And he's like, just like I said it was going to be. And now he's realizing, oh man, our defense has really crushed us. If only our defense was a little bit better. I mean, you have the second ranked offense right now, 30.8 points per game. And you have the 31st ranked defense. That's devastating. Absolutely devastating. Devastating. If you could just have remotely a functional defense, this team is a bona fide top team in the NFL. Therein lies the problem. Can you maintain, and it's hard to do, can you maintain being a top 1, 2, 3 top offense over these next couple of years? Ideally, obviously you want as soon as possible, but if you're being on a realistic timeline of the draft picks, year 3, like, can you maintain that? And then now build a top 10, top 5 defense. If you can, then yeah, you hit an absolute grand slam. But you're talking about such a narrow window. You're trying to chip a golf ball onto a tee. Not even in the hole, onto the tee. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Dallas Cowboys? Should they be patient at the trade deadline? Should they see what they have right now offensively and just do whatever they can to make their defense even just remotely more competent? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so if you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.